And now, time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in this week.
Namaskar and welcome once again. I have with me Padma Shri recipient Dr. Sudhir Parikh in our weekly show, that is this week with Dr. Sudhir Parikh on ITV Gold. And Namaskar Dr. Parikh, how are you doing?
Namaskar everyone.
So Dr. Parikh, today let's start with the UN Security Council, which voted like 14-0 to support President Biden's step-by-step plan for a ceasefire. That was an exchange of hostages and prisoners and an end to the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza. So I want your comments on that.
I think it's an excellent plan because there is not really any practical solution other than accept both the parties should accept this plan, because the plan is very simple and very logical and very correct, because you release the hostage, then there will be a ceasefire, and then the ceasefire will be permanent. Eventually first they say okay, ceasefire for 2 months, but with the understanding that you keep extending that 2 months to permanent thing, because otherwise there is no, that's why they are not agreeing. Both the parties are disagreeing because Israel says no, it's not permanent, and Hamas says it should be permanent. And that's a big sticking issue. And so if United Nations is supporting the whole plan, then I'm sure Israel will agree and should agree,
So, all right, let's go to this more like we had a charged up week, especially in Indian politics with Modi 3.0, just got sworn in with the 72 ministers. I definitely would want your quick reaction to all that.
Well, it's great. This shows that in India, the largest democracy is alive and kicking. And whole exercise of election went through very smoothly, without really much violence or incident, or in spite of the diversity of the India, and in spite of the very hot-head campaign. And that is good, and the people spoke, and the people gave the verdict, what they wanted to give verdict in such a way that I'm glad that Prime Minister Modi won, because he is a great leader, has a good vision, and has a good track for last 10 years. But the same token, people of India gave very strong opposition in the parliament, and that is very good for healthy democracy.
Absolutely, and I think it's definitely a strong vote of confidence for Modi governance, as most of the key ministers and their portfolios are kind of staying the same. Right,
correct. And I think the hope that this government is a coalition government, so it's kind of little uncertain in a way, but it should last longer because everyone has their own interest to continue as it is.
So let's talk about the power struggle between RSS and Modi BJP with Nadda back in the cabinet. What do you think is going to happen to the president post?
President post has different, have a different candidate. President of India you are talking about, right? No, or president.
The BJP president.
No, that they have some kind of their own way of selecting president of the party, and I think they will follow that procedure unless unless Prime Minister decides to just install someone of his choice. That's a whole different story. But then it's up to the people of the, member of the BJP parliamentary board, and the party and the RSS to agree with a person.
So from there now let's move to from Modi 3.0 to NDA 3.0. What changes do you see in Modi ji to be a leader for this sensitive coalition and have a stable government?
Well, Modi has to change a little bit the way of working, because once you have absolute majority you can do whatever you wish to do or you like to do. But once we have coalition, then you have to take other NDA partners into the confidence and come to some kind of common decision or of any issue to make it work. And so there is always little more negotiation and more talking with the ministers and everybody than before, probably.
So, like, what do you see like the agenda for first 100 days for
No, agenda
Modi
is always
3.0?
remain the same. There's economic agenda, agriculture agenda, infrastructure agenda. Agenda of the country is the same. It doesn't change. No, and then they will not do any drastic thing, because once you have coalition government, in the beginning you don't do any drastic changes in the agenda, because otherwise it may fall apart, and you don't want to fall apart.
And like, moving on to the states, what do you think of the TDP, Chandrababu Naidu, government in Andhra Pradesh? What do you think about that?
No, I mean, it's after almost 15-20 years, Chandrababu Naidu came back in the power because of the previous government. People perceived as a very corrupt and non-functioning or not good functioning government. And I think Chandrababu Naidu has a history of good administrator, good governance. He has proven that thing in the early 2000, when the IT revolution come in India. At that time, he started those revolution in the Hyderabad, Hyderabad. So he proved that he can able to do or he can keep up with the progress of the technology and so forth.
So, all right, this was all good, and let's go to our rapid fire round. And as you know, you either say yes or no, or if you have an explanation, just a one-liner explanation.
Okay, sure.
So, my first rapid fire question is from Ashok. Ashok wants to know any key names you think are missing for you in Modi 3.0 cabinet.
Any what? Sorry?
Any key names which are missing for you?
Well, I don't think so, because usually always the Prime Minister continues their own team, whatever team was there before election. And that's because they feel he has to feel comfortable, and he is the one who has to work. So he will not take anyone from out of hat and put in the key position, because that's not the government works.
And the second one is from Samantha. She wants to know, will Rahul Gandhi become the leader of opposition?
I think so. Rahul Gandhi will become leader of opposition, because he leads the largest party in the parliament, 101 seat.
All right. And the third question is from a cricket lover. That is me. I want to know that, New York definitely is caught by the cricket fever right now. Any favorites so far to win the T20 for you?
Well, I think India has a very good chance of winning
the World
Cup again. And so I'm rooting for them, and I'm praying for them, and I'm wishing them good luck. And yesterday only I had a dinner with all the T20 players in the consulate of India, hosted by Consul General of India, and it was a great meeting. And we all enjoyed it, talking to those players, and they also expressed a lot of good thing to the audience.
Wonderful. And the next rapid fire question is from Tasneem. Tasneem wants to know, so Modi 3.0 will be more continuity or more change? Pick one.
I think is more continuity.
More continuity? Wonderful. And next question I have is, the opposition will play a meaningful role or just continue to oppose Modi in everything?
No, I think they will play, opposition will play a very meaningful role, because that's their assignment to play a constructive role in democracy, and they will, and this time they are in bigger in number than last time. So I think they will play a very constructive role. I mean, of course, they support government whenever it's everything is good for people. In their opinion, good, and if not good, then they will oppose and do some suggestions.
And this is not a rapid fire question, but before we say this week's message, I want to ask you, since summer is here, a lot of people talk about sunscreens, that you shouldn't use them a lot. So I want to know from you, like, should a person use sunscreen every day, like day and night, in the sense in the evening, or no sunscreen?
Well, if you are sitting outside on the kind of open sun, then I think you should use sunscreen, because sunscreen prevents a lot of disease of the skin, particularly even cancer. So I think people should or must use the sunscreen whenever they are outdoor, sitting in the open air, where the sun is kind of shining directly on their skin. Yes, they should use it.
Wonderful. And before you go out this week's message, I want to remind our viewers that you can follow Dr. Sudhir Parikh on Facebook at Dr. Parikh, and you can also follow him on Twitter. The handle is SUDPARIKH. Please go ahead.
Well, dear friends, it's a good news that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government is back in the power. Today we have a celebration of the NDA government victory. It's a historical victory. Prime Minister came came back third time, and we should all support him. He is a great leader, very visionary, and he's good for India, both socially and economical front. And so let's wish him good luck, best for everything, and we all diaspora should ask our government what we can do for India, and we should try to do whatever we can do for our motherland. Thank you. See you next week. Till then, goodbye.